Okay, today on this video, I'm gonna go through accenting. So with this first video, I'm gonna just talk about accenting, and then I'm gonna on another video show you some common patterns that I've come across and I hear all the time. So accenting really is just playing one or some notes, depending if they're all accented or one is accented. Anyway, when a note is accented, it's louder, and for us on a cajon, it's your hand will just go higher. Now, this is really intuitive. This is not complicated, but you want to just don't think of it as like you're hitting harder, because that actually can hurt yourself. If you just think of it as your hand is going to move farther away and then back in, that'll make it louder. So that's where I would start. Now, you can hit harder also. That gives you a different sound too. Both are options, but for right now, I'm just gonna think of it as my hands are moving further away from the cajon, and I'm really only just gonna do the lower sound. You can do it anywhere, right? But I'm gonna do it on the lower sound, just because then my hands are right there, ready to go. Anyway, it really doesn't matter either place, and both is good. And in the other video, I'll do some variations on both. So accenting really is just thinking about kind of home base as your hands are moving low or not very far. Now I'm going to scoot to the side so you can see my hand motion a little bit more, right? So in my head, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Now one thing you want to do is get really good at accenting with either hand. So depending on which one you're starting with, you want to also start with the other and get used to that. So just starting, say, with the other hand, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E. Now this can be applied to all the rhythms that we've worked on. So starting with both hands and just switching back and forth. Or so those are the kind of basics of accenting. So again, your hands are going to just move further out. So there is a basic pattern I'm going to throw in on this one. I decided as I was talking here that's very, very common and gets you used to playing accents in different places. So once again, it's built on sixteenths. It is an accent on the numbers, and then you do a couple measures of that, and then you accent just on the E count. You do a couple measures of that, then on and then an So it's a very logical thing, but it helps you work on both hands and getting used to both hands playing wherever. So I'm just going to run through it and count. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. So those are the basic four patterns, and when you start to mix and match those ideas, you get all kinds of cool things that you hear people play all the time. And it's not really about kind of what we did with the rhythm. It's not like trying to be very organized about it. It's more you use it, and that's what the next video is going to show. It's just I'm going to use these patterns in different ways and combine them, so to speak, into common accent patterns. But that's how accents work. So once it just really quickly, so to speak, your hand is just going to move further out from the cajon. So just as an example, I'm going to do also high end and go through that same 1E and a accent pattern that I just did, but on the high sound, just to put both on this video. So 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. Whoops, I skipped a measure. How about this? I'm going to do one measure of each. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. So in different different ways of counting, you don't have to go all the way to 4. You could just go to 3 or to 2 or only 1 and just do one pattern of each in those. And I'm not going to go further into that. So just if you want to, no, I should, since I mentioned it. So you could do the same thing with 3. So that's what this would sound like. And this time, what I'm going to do is accent up on the high sound, so to get used to moving my hand back and forth. All right. So when I do the accent with whatever hand, I'm going to move my hand up to the high sound. So my home base is now low, and the accent is on the high sound. So, and that's super common. All right. So I'm going to just count to 3 E and each time instead of 4. So it's going to be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1. Then you can do just 2s. Same sort of thing, but just now you're just going to count to 2 E and start over. So 1 E and 2 E and 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 1. And then just 1s, right? So you just do 1 E with all 1 E and of each pattern. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and sorry. So actually it's kind of 1. So 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and So since there are 4 of them, a lot of people think of that last one in 4, which is why I started to count that way. So you do 1 of each pattern, but it's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. So that's a super common thing I did in the marching band world for years and years, so I defaulted to that. But it's really just 1 count of each of those patterns. Okay, so that's enough on the basics of what accents are. Often, again, I'm going to cap with this. Often, home bass accents will be on that high sound, but not always. So you have all kinds of options, and you can do the opposite. So there are a lot of mixing and matching things you can do. Main idea on this video is just get used to the idea that your hands move further away for an accent. Okay, next video.